particularly in that sector 3 where he was, I would say 2 tenths, 3 tenths ahead of Max. Because if you look at sector 1, sector 2, in all the time sheets, it was quite similar between Max Verstappen and Lando Norris in sector 1, sector 2. But in sector 3, Lando was very, very quick. Very, very quick, and he was 3 tenths ahead of Max Verstappen. And once again, Lando has looked quite strong, and particularly in a track that we know he did quite well last year. So for him to see, for us to see, as Formula One fans, to see how well the pace he's shown in Abu Dhabi so far is not surprising, but it shows that he's up there, and if McLaren don't screw him over again, he has a great chance to win the championship. And when I say win the championship, I mean by finishing in the podium, at least, because that's the minimum required for Orlando to win the championship. And whereas Max and Red Bull, they look quite good, I would say. Yes, in free practice too, you could say they were. If you look at Verstappen's time compared to Lando, he was 3 tenths behind Lando. But at the same time, I think the pace of Red Bull look quite good. I think in sector 1, sector 2, they look very, very strong. I would say they look quite competitive with Lando. Pace in sector 1, sector 2. However, in sector 3, they're clearly behind Lando. So this is something they need to improve on. They need to try to focus. And Max is something that Max could improve on as well. Could Red Bull improve their race pace or one lap pace? Because Verstappen, could they improve? Would Max prefer race pace or one lap pace? I think he would prefer race pace, because I think in Abu Dhabi you can overtake. In Abu Dhabi, even if let's say if Max Verstappen starts second and Lando starts first, and Lando still stays ahead, Max could still, get past Lando, because, in Abu Dhabi you can overtake. It's not like it's Qatar or something. So yeah, but at the same time, I think it's important to have both sides of pace: the quality one lap pace and race pace. You, as a driver fighting for a championship, you would drive to have both sides of the pace. But if you choose one, you have to choose one. Of course, you're going to choose race pace if it's a track that you can overtake. But what if it's Monaco? Then one lap pace, of course. So yeah, I think. Listen, McLaren and Lando clearly look the quickest out there, but at the same time, it's a long weekend, and we all know Red Bull. They always struggle at the beginning, and then they've managed to find a way to set the pace up for the qualifying and for the race. And I remember, if I'm not mistaken, in 2021, when Max and Lewis were fighting for the title, Mercedes and Lewis were looking very, very strong in that weekend. And then, all of a sudden, qualifying, the Red Bull was so strong and Max was so strong, and I think his first lap was like half a second ahead of Lewis. His first lap in qualifying. So I think Red Bull might use a similar tactic to what they did in 2021. I know it's with different management this time, but I think they might use a similar tactic where they prepare the car and they try to test different things in practice 1, 2, and 3, and then qualifying they set the car for the pace, and they wake up in qualifying and wake up in the race, as they've always done all season. So yeah, and listen, Max obviously after an interview he was saying, we're not still some problems with the bouncing, etc. I mean, we all know he's playing mind games. I mean, Red Bull, usual from Red Bull and Max Verstappen. They love to play mind games, don't they? So Yeah. But listen, like I still think Red Bull. They still look quick. They still look fast. They still look good. I would say Max's look quite strong, even though Lando also looked quite strong. What I would say is that Max and Red Bull just need to improve on the Sector 3 pace. If they improve, then I think they might have a good chance of getting pole and winning the race. So, and by the way, even if McLaren and Lando look quite strong and they get pole, I don't trust. I still, you know, keep my opinion, my belief. I still don't trust McLaren to get it over the line. I still just don't trust them. Even if Lando still only needs a podium, I don't trust them to get it over the line. So, yeah, as much as Lando's look quick and he's look strong, at the same time he could be diminished because of his team. So, and I don't hope that, by the way. I don't hope that because I would like to see like races be decided by pure pace. So, as a Formula 1 fan, general Formula 1 fan, but obviously with McLaren it's not that possible. So, yeah. But you look at the other teams, by the way. Has looked very, very strong. Behrman, I mean, was fantastic. Once again, I mean, his performances since I would say since Singapore has been phenomenal, amazing. I think in all the races since Singapore, except Qatar, he's always finishing the points. Always finishing the points. I mean, he's been phenomenal. He was not complaining in the radio, but he was saying, "Oh, why is this car so good?" It has to look very, very strong. Kicksaba looked very, very strong. Uh, Russell and Mercedes, they look okay, but I would say not close enough to challenge the Verstappen and McLaren for the victory. And then you've got Leclerc. He looked okay. He looked good, quite good in FP1, but FP2 not so much. But he always does well in Abu Dhabi. He always, I think he in the last 5 times he's been Abu Dhabi. I think he's lucky. Most of them he got in the podium, if I'm not mistaken. And last year, let's not forget, he was starting in P19 and got in the podium as well. So he's a guy that can do well in Abu Dhabi as well. Piastri is kind of in the back foot. So Oscar Piastri, I mean, he's looked in the back foot. FP1 he was struggling. Sorry, FP1 he missed FP1. I should say sorry. Sorry, I meant to say FP2, but FP1 he missed FP1 because obviously that's what Formula 1 teams have to do. They have to leave out drivers 2 times at least in a session to give the 2 chances for the rookies, as they did to Alex Dunn, I think 2 times in Austria and Italy, and they did to Howard in Mexico and now in Abu Dhabi. And a lot of people, no surprise, come up with conspiracy theories, nonsensical conspiracy theories, saying that, of course, title deciding championship weekend, of course, they're going to favor Lando. I mean, what's this got to do with Lando, first of all? What's this got to do with Lando? That's first of all. Second of all, Piastri, he agreed, by the way, for Abu Dhabi to not be his practice session. He agreed. They asked him whether you want Abu Dhabi or not, and they said yes. And he said, okay, give sessions to Howard in Abu Dhabi. Maybe he thought at that time, because he was 34 points clear of Lando, that he was gonna have the championship wrapped up. So maybe that's why he's. So that's Piastri's fault. So if anybody who wants to criticize McLaren for all of that, Piastri made that decision. Okay? So yeah. And let's not forget, yes, missing FP1 can have an effect. But let's not forget, Lando Norris missed FP1 in Mexico and he crushed everybody. Lando Norris missed FP1 in Austria and he won in Austria. So, as much as people want to make excuses for Oscar, and I don't know why people give so much of a free pass for Oscar. It's unbelievable. It's like they treat him like he's the god of Formula 1 or something. Like, why you cannot like why you cannot say that his performances in the second half of the season have been poor, except Qatar when he was screwed over, of course, by his team. His performance has been poor. So as much as you want to criticize McLaren for, as much as you want to say, oh, he's going to lose the championship because he missed FP1, why don't you look at other performances? That's what lost them the championship, not this. And yes, it's not the ideal time, of course. Of course, it's not the ideal time for Piastri, especially if you're trying to win the championship. It's the title to decide the championship. It's not ideal to have him miss FP1, where your title rivals are doing FP1 like Max and Lando. Of course, it's not ideal. It can be. It depends who you are, because like I said, Lando missed FP1 in Mexico and Austria and won both of them. It depends it depends who you are. But so missing FP1 can be a disadvantage. It depends who you are. But at the same time, no excuses. You have to adapt. No excuses, and you have to adapt. And let's not forget, I think Oscar won. I think he won F2 championship in 2021 in Abu Dhabi. So he's not like it's the first time or second time he's gonna drive in Abu Dhabi. So people forget that. And it was Piastri's decision, by the way, to at the start. When teams, for people to know this, when teams, they have to give at least two chances, and to leave their permanent drivers out and give the rookies two chances, as they did it to Oard and as they did to Alex Dunn, as Red Bull did as well in this session with Arvid Lindblad in this session, and also in Abu Dhabi, in Silverstone, I should say. So you have to respect the rules, and McLaren respect the rules, and every team respect the rules in that. And it was Piastri's decision for Abu Dhabi to be that session to miss FP1. So I don't understand what are the people's why people criticize McLaren. Well, I don't understand really. But anyway, but FP2 he didn't look that great. He was 7 tenths behind Lando, 3 tenths behind Max. But of course, he's not. Of course, he's not slower than Hulkenberg. Of course, he's not slower than Bortoletto. Of course, he's not slower than Behrman. But yeah, obviously, he's not been. He's been struggling. He was struggling in FP2, but I wouldn't write him off. It's still early. It's still FP2. We've seen it before. Where I remember Hamilton and Mercedes looked very, very strong in the beginning of Abu Dhabi 2021, and then Verstappen turned around in qualifying and it was amazing. So it's still early. Still a long way to go. Lando's looked strong, but again, it's a long way to go. And we all know this season has been twists and turns and changes, and very quickly he's been going right, left, and directions, and so he's been changing quickly. So I wouldn't say that it's over like people say. Still, Piastri could come back. Max Verstappen for sure has a very good chance to come back as well. So yeah, this is gonna be very, very interesting qualifying and race. That's for sure. And FP3 is gonna be very important also for all the drivers, especially for Piastri. Also, Zach Brown, the CEO of McLaren, he was talking about are they going to use team orders in Abu Dhabi? And he said they are realistic. We want to win this drivers' championship. If we get into the race and it's become pretty clear that one has a chance and the other doesn't, we're going to do what we can to win the drivers' championship. It would be crazy not to. We're not going to not win the championship, but because we're trying to protect a third or fourth. It's a team sport. I agree with Zach. I agree with Zach because, but let's not forget, McLaren have put themselves in this situation with their stupidity in the past races. But yeah, I agree with Zach because if you want to win the drivers' championship, of course, you need to back listen, Piastri still has a chance mathematically for people concerning. But if, let's say, in the last 6-7 laps or 8 laps, Piastri is in third, Lando's in fourth, and Max is winning, it's pretty clear to make the team orders, right? And yes, I understand people don't want team orders to be deciding the championship, I don't want that as well, of course, because I think it would diminish Lando Norris's, achievement of winning the championship. Not in my eyes, but obviously in many people's eyes, of course. So, yeah. But at the same time, of course, it's very sensible for McLaren to use the team models. That's it, guys. Thank you. I wish you have a nice day. It's going to be a very interesting qualifying race for sure for Abu Dhabi. Thank you. I wish you have a nice day. See you next time, and goodbye.